Charles Dickens was born on February 7th, 1812, and spent his first years in a busy area of London. His family moved to Kent in 1817 due to financial struggles. Charles Dickens grew up in poverty and had to work at a blacking factory to help support his large family. This part of his life later had a great impact on his writing career, and his rough childhood inspired him to strive for greatness. He had to leave schooling at 15, but still became a freelance journalist and later a writer for the Morning Chronicles. Dickens wrote his first book, The Pickwick Papers, in 1836. His novels grew in popularity with the release of Oliver Twist, A Tale of Two Cities, and Great Expectations. He wrote a total of 14 novels in his lifetime, the most popular being A Christmas Carol, written in 1843. Charles Dickens was famously known for the public readings of his own stories, which Dickens performed for large audiences all across Europe. He held a full-time career as an author. Dickens used his past struggles as an inspiration for many characters in his stories, and received a large amount of support from his wife and children. Dickens' books moved a great many people, and his stories received very little criticism over the years. Few critiques were unhappy with his work, and he was admired by many other authors. He encouraged new styles of writing, and helped the popularity of ghost stories grow with the release of A Christmas Carol. Many of his popular novels exposed important social problems, and he used the humor in his stories to bring attention to real-world issues. This helped open the eyes of his reader to the problems faced in his time. Charles Dickens became an important social reformer through his writing. He had a large fan base and was an inspiration to many writers, including John Irving, Anne Rice, and Jane Austen. He worked to please the public with his books and succeeded in changing fiction novels for the better. As a result of his wild popularity, Dickens upset many with his tragic death in 1870. He died on June 9th and never completed his final novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood. The New York Times wrote his official obituary statement and said, "The death of a man like Charles Dickens seems to create a blank in our own existence." Even after his death, Dickens continues to have a great impact on English literature. He's considered one of the greatest and most successful novelists by many, and most of his books continue to be popular today. He's admired by scholars for the complexity of his novels, and his work is often studied in college literature. Some of Dickens's books, such as A Christmas Carol, have become increasingly popular in children's literature. It has many movie adaptations by franchises such as Disney and The Muppets. Even Charles Dickens himself has left his personal legacy in pop culture by appearing in the popular television show Doctor Who. Over 150 years into the future, Dickens is still changing many people's view on English literature. His books continue to receive praise, and Charles Dickens is often held to the level of Shakespeare's writings. He was called one of the great poets of the novel by Edgar Johnson, and has changed the way stories are written forever. Charles Dickens is truly a leader in literature.